You have been selected for reincarnation!
What? Poor Prince Reinhardt died during childbirth!
Meet Haruto. He had a rough time in junior high, got bullied, and ended up shutting himself in his room for years. One day, he's lying in bed, watching Dumb Sensei on his phone, wondering if Dumb Sensei is a genius or just dumb. Suddenly, a weird light comes out of the phone, and bam! Haruto finds himself in a whole new dimension. Of course, he reincarnated because he believes Dumb Sensei is genius. In this crazy place, a goddess shows up, telling Haruto he's been picked for a second chance at life. Haruto figures out he must have kicked the bucket when he saw that light. The goddess spills the beans that his new gig involves a world where magic is everything. She throws in some super skills and tells him to live it up. But Haruto has other plans. He decides to chill and enjoy a quiet life, using his superpowers for some shut-in fun. He begs the goddess to give him this new life, and poof. He wakes up in a baby's body, but with all his memories intact. Turns out, he's born into royalty, and everyone's excited, thinking he'll have crazy magical skills. Surprise, Haruto's only a level 2, and he can't even pick an element. The king and queen freak out, worrying that their kid's a disappointment. So, they fake his death and ditch him in the forest. The goddess is annoyed that no one sees Haruto's true potential. Now, in the middle of nowhere, baby Haruto is determined to survive. He's stuck in a forest, but he's not giving up. Despite being a baby, he's teaching himself some barrier magic. Haruto is pretty amazed when he realizes he can use magic barriers easily. He makes a cube, plays around with it, and even floats himself using it. He's excited because it doesn't use up much of his magical power. But things get serious when a flame Fenrir shows up and attacks him. Good news, his barrier holds up well. Haruto tries to hurt the Fenrir by creating smaller barriers, pulling down trees on it, and even dropping a chunk of earth. But the Fenrir doesn't stay down. Then, Haruto finds out the Fenrir can talk, and she's a girl. They calm down, and she admits she was planning to eat him to get more mana. Turns out, she's surprised at how strong Haruto is. He can't talk, so he uses a barrier to turn his thoughts into sound. He introduces himself as Haruto, not using his birth name because it's hard to say. He tells her about how he ended up in this strange situation. Now, the Fenrir thinks Haruto is the Demon King reincarnated. Haruto decides to go with it to sound cool. The Fenrir even rolls over, ready for him to end her. Haruto thinks it's a bit much and promises not to hurt her if she doesn't attack. The Fenrir, now called Flay, is so moved that she promises not to attack. Haruto says goodbye, but Flay calls him Lord and makes a pact, saying he's her master. But before things get too settled, Haruto collapses because he needs breast milk. He tells Flay, who turns into a human to help him, but it doesn't work. While they figure things out, they hear someone coming. Haruto makes a barrier so they can talk without being heard. The stranger, named Gold, shows up and says he wants to take Haruto. Flay instantly refuses, not even giving Gold a chance to explain why he's there. Gold wants to know why Flay thinks she can say no to him. Flay informs Gold that Haruto is now his master, and Gold shows up, saying Haruto belongs to his relative. Haruto is confused because he didn't agree to this. Gold explains that the child is his relative, and they've come to take him back after the circumstances leading to his abandonment played out. Flay is puzzled why the family would return for something they abandoned. Gold tries to show concern by offering breast milk, but Flay refuses it. Gold shares his tragic story of losing his baby and believes every child that survives should have a chance to live. Flay agrees to be Haruto's attendant, sealing the deal. Gold destroys the baby's basket to make it look like animals got to Haruto. After 9 years, a more mature Haruto Zenpes sits down with his new family for breakfast. He originally planned to leave once weaned off milk, but his adopted family treated him well. His younger sister, Charlotte, is still distant. Flay has been a perfect assistant to Haruto. He watches Charlotte play with Flay, feeling uncomfortable. Haruto's mother joins him, suggesting he show he's a reliable brother. She wants him to join them outside instead of staying in his room. She assures him she'll help them get along. Haruto contemplates leaving, thinking about his clone project, a 9-year effort to create a realistic copy using barrier magic, unable to talk or move. Haruto realizes that if he wants to leave without hurting anyone, he must make a clone of Flay. But that's a tough challenge. Gold interrupts his thoughts, asking him to go outside. Haruto knows it won't end well for him. Gold takes him to practice swordsmanship, pointing out Haruto's low mana level. Haruto shows no interest and claims he wants to study ancient magic. Gold, surprised, decides to test Haruto's sword skills. Haruto puts up a barrier to compensate for his supposed lack of physical ability, and dodges Gold's attacks with ease. Gold suspects an innate ability but hides his theory. Later, Char, Haruto's younger sister, overhears her parents discussing the possibility that Haruto might be a returned demon with demonic traits. Gold promises to protect and provide a happy life for Haruto, while Char is certain her brother is not a demon. And get ready for an epic journey. Hit subscribe now and be part of the adventure unfolding in the next video.